And I just want to say that I have never seen the Republican Party so unified as it is right now. Never been like this. America first. We're putting America first. First of all, my family.
Today, an indictment was unsealed, charging Donald J. Trump with conspiring to defraud the United States, conspiring to disenfranchise voters, and conspiring and attempting to obstruct an official proceeding. The attack on our nation's capital on January 6, 2021, was an unprecedented assault on the seat of American democracy. As described in the indictment, it was fueled by lies. Lies by the defendant targeted at obstructing a bedrock function of the U.S. government, the nation's process of collecting, counting, and certifying the results of the presidential election.
USA! 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 USA!
A lot of us thought that there was a good chance that the Supreme Court would pass on taking this case at all, since the issue had been dealt with in a very strong opinion from the Circuit Court. However, today, after sitting on this for a couple of weeks, the Supreme Court has decided that it wants to weigh in on this case. So when Mr. Trump appealed to the Supreme Court, he actually asked for something that they did not do today. So he asked them to put everything on hold, but not necessarily to agree to hear his appeal, because he wanted things paused so that he could go back to the Circuit Court and ask them to get everybody on that bench together for an en banc hearing to reconsider this issue. I think there are very few legal scholars who think that a majority of the court would agree that any president would have this sort of broad immunity over any conduct in office, much less the particular conduct that's alleged here. So that doesn't mean, though, that it's a happy day in Jack Smith's office. It's probably not, because this is necessarily going to continue to delay things to some degree. How much delay this is going to be, we don't know yet. This could add, perhaps maybe another 2 months to the calendar. And that would be among the kind of best case scenarios for Jack Smith. This would involve the Supreme Court, hearing these arguments and then fairly quickly coming out with a decision that lets Judge Chutkan continue the trial and shoots down this immunity claim. And mind you, I think that the play here for them is for time, because, it's not lost on his team that if they can delay this such that this trial doesn't start before the election, then if he wins the election, he can direct his Justice Department to just drop this case. And I don't think that's how most presidents would deal with this. As you know, right now, there are cases against the current president's son that technically President Biden could say, hey, Justice Department, knock it off. But he doesn't, because that would violate the rules and norms around the relationship between the president and his Justice Department. But I don't know that we're going to get that kind of sort of humility from a Trump presidency.
Earlier this afternoon, Donald Trump was arraigned on a New York Supreme Court indictment returned by a Manhattan grand jury on 34 felony counts of falsifying business records in the first degree.
Miss.
Hi, everyone.